Today's episode is sponsored by Godly Glow Skincare, where we believe it's more than just skin. Your glow starts from within. Are you someone who battles with hyperpigmentation, dark spots, or really dry skin? If so, our products will be perfect for you. For more information, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Godly Glow CO.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to OE Talks.
Woo!
My name is Deena Taylor, and I'm your host. And today we're going to be talking about finding love in church.
My God.
Listen, we're just real friends having real conversations about real topics. But before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce our lovely panelists.
What's up, everybody? I'm Pastor P.
What's up, y'all? My name is Deene.
It's your girl, Tanee.
And I'm Charon.
Ronnie.
So, y'all, why do you think it's so hard to find love in church?
People are weird. They're weird, like extra. And I don't like for a guy to come up to me and say, "God told me you're my wife," because he didn't tell me. I don't know about y'all, but he didn't tell me. He didn't reveal that to me.
You heard that a lot?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I have too.
I feel like church. I don't want to say churchgoers because it's not everybody, but it's a corny vibe to it.
Correct. It's like forced.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a lot of men that I've encountered are coming there looking for a wife, and that's fine, but it's not happening organically.
Right.
And I don't like that. For me, I like things to happen like organically.
Facts.
Versus I want you, I want to date you, and you miss being able to get to know someone because you worried about trying to be with them.
So what does that look like, though?
What does organic look
Yeah.
like?
Versus like what we've been seeing in church today.
I feel like an organic relationship starts. It starts with a friendship. Even if that's not the intention, like it just happens. And once that friendship develops, you get to know a person, then you develop feelings for them.
Yeah. Like you may be serving together and it's just like, oh, we have this in common. And then over time, it's like, oh, I might kind of, want to get to know this person on a different level, on a deeper level. And then you take that next step.
I think it's without expectations. I think that's what everybody is saying. Like, when you don't expect it, you find it. And then without the expectations, there's no demand on pushing and pressing for time. And this has to happen at this point.
Correct.
And then as it happens, you really get to enjoy it and watch it bloom into what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So no expectations then.
No expectations.
Or no forced expectation.
Correct. Flowing,
Right.
not forcing.
Don't put a time on it too. I think a lot of people do that. Like, oh, within the first 6 months, we need to be engaged.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know your uncle's name yet.
Yeah. And
I
everybody's
wonder-
different. Like a lot of people, like some people may get engaged and they may get married right away. Some people may wait. Like it's whatever works for you. Like I don't believe now there are times when it's like, okay, we've been engaged. It's 10 years. Like what's up?
10 years.
You know what I mean?
That's not
That's
happening.
different. But
crazy.
if we are both in a good place and we want to just enjoy our engagement and not rush into marriage, like I don't see anything wrong with that.
I think people idolize it. Like you're
Yes.
talking about why you can't find love in church is because you're not, when it's idolized, you're not finding love. You're infatuated with something. So it becomes like the culture of the church, unfortunately, that you've got to find love in the church. And that's not how I think it's supposed to be.
Do you feel like churches do a good job of hosting like singles events and stuff?
I'ma
No.
go back to
No,
the
Absolutely
original.
not.
Corny.
Absolutely not. If you
No,
It's
no,
a no.
no, no.
That corny word is prevalent in church functions. I don't know if it's like we can go back to forced as well. Like everything feels like you being smushed together. Like it's not naturally occurring. Nothing flows, and I don't think anything genuine can come from it.
No, and at a singles event, it's going to be more women than men. It's going to be
That's true.
18 women and 3 men.
correct. And nobody like singles events that they have at church, like I feel like people don't really like they're not really able to like be themselves and like really go in it like all the way because they're in a church setting. And I feel like in church too, it's like if you're single, like oftentimes something is wrong with you, or they don't want you to do ministry or lead ministry because you're not married. And I have a problem with that.
Yeah, we've got to normalize singleness in the body of Christ.
Because it's a gift.
It is a gift, and I think that it has its purpose, because the whole part of being married is a part of being single, being prepared for marriage, and we discount that experience and those lessons, and that might be why the divorce rate is so high.
Yeah, because people are, so you're saying like because people aren't spending time getting to know themselves first.
Yes.
That becoming whole first.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're both whole when you get together, not two halves.
And you're never going to know everything, right? But I feel like it's important for everybody to take that time to be single. Like there's some people who have never been single ever. I used to be one of them. Like, but taking that time to yourself to really get to know you so that you can figure out what you like, what you don't like. Like, you know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah.
So you feel like in church people don't show up as like their real self? Like this is kind of like the churchy version of themselves where they love Jesus and that's just, they don't have any issues or they've been delivered.
Or they say they love Jesus, but their lifestyle says something completely different.
Well, common church culture has taught us to put a mask on when we come to church.
Yes.
So that's another reason why you can't find authentic love sometimes in church, because your people are portraying who they want to be instead of who they are.
Representative.
It's on social media. Like, you seeing what they want us to see. You know?
Yeah. Yep. And then if you like really like be yourself, it's like you get condemned for that or judged for that. Like if you make a mistake or whatever it looks like. And it's like, this is where I'm supposed to come to get the help that I need.
Yeah.
To get fixed, or not fixed, but, you know, to get healed or.
So do you feel like as a Christian you need to date someone in the church? Like what does that look like for you to?
For me, I don't necessarily think I have to date somebody that's in the church. They don't even have to serve in the church, but if I feel like you believe, if you're a believer, you love God, and you act as you do, as you do love God, then that's good enough for me.
Yeah, I don't believe. You said, do I believe I have to date someone in the church? No, absolutely not. I actually prefer not to date people that are in the church. Like we could date and then we start going to the church together. But I've only dated one person that was like in the church.
How'd that go?
That was good.
Yes, it was. Hold on a second.
That experience was actually good for me. It taught me a lot about myself, about God, about what I was ready for, what I wasn't. That experience for me happened organically. It wasn't something that was forced. It was something where we both worked together at the church, and from working together, developed a friendship organically, and then over time we decided to take it to the next level. And so that experience for me was good, but I wasn't looking for that. It just happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the organic thing.
So that's the part. Like if I'm going to church and I'm only coming to this church because I know it's going to be some single brothers in here, I'm trying to be a wife, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. But if I'm just at work, serving God, minding my business, and it happens, that's fine with me. But I'm not going to the church looking, because honestly, what I've seen, a lot of men that's in the church, they really not what I want. Or it's like, I'm this man of God, but they're really not this man of God. They just portray to be this righteous person and end up being fraudulent.
I can attest to that. On the other side, it's the same with women too. And I think that goes back to that identity crisis. Like, your identity comes from Christ, and there's a lot of people that don't take their relationship with Christ serious enough to experience what true love is, defined in, like, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, patient, kind, long suffering. Like, these are things that destroy marriages and relationships, because you find out, I don't like that about you, so I'm out of here. Like, I can't deal with it. That's on my list of non-negotiables. So I think for me, I don't look for love in church. If I find it, that's great, but I'm 30, almost 33, and I've never dated anybody in the church that I go to.
So where do you feel like Christians should look for love? Or do you
I don't think you look for love.
There's no specific place.
Yeah, I don't even know that
like
you look
said.
for it. I think you just trust God's process that it's going to happen, and you do the pre-work for yourself to be ready to receive love. That's a whole nother subject. Receiving love, like at a place where you can receive it. But as long as you're following the will of the Lord, you'll find the mate that's for you when you're supposed to have them.
But who's gonna find it? The man?
I think God will lead you to each other. That's what I pray.
So what about being intentional? Isn't there something to be said about being intentional?
Yeah, I mean, and a part of that is being whole and healed. Like, that's being intentional, making yourself available for love. There are a lot of women or men that say, oh, I want love, but you're not available for it. You still have baggage. You still have places that's not healed. You still have all these expectations. You have all these unconscious bias. You want the man or the woman to be this perfect 9 block, and you're missing all of the blessings that God has for you because you have your own expectations. And the truth is, what God desires for us is totally different than what we desire for ourselves.
You're preaching right now. Preaching.
Ouch.
So there you have it, y'all.
You ain't have to come down my road like that.
My bad.
How would we even define when we say the church? Like, what are we talking about exactly?
That's good.
I mean, people who love Jesus.
So not really in the 4 walls, but just the people that say they love God.
They love God, but then they're also a part of the church. They're actually actively involved going to the church. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's messy.
It really is messy.
It's possible, but it's messy.
Yeah, because like when you say it, like find love in the church, like we are the church, so it's not just in the building. Like, I think we've been answering questions from that perspective, but the church is not a building. The building is where we go to be developed, to learn, to grow, so that we can be sent out. But it's not to stay in those 4 walls. Yeah. So at all, we were never supposed to stay in the church. Like, our gifts were not for the church. They're developed in the church, but you're not supposed to keep them there.
Yeah, that's good.